How does one get born in the heavens? Through holding the five precepts, born in the heavens, one enjoys unlimited heavenly blessings. However, they eventually come to an end. When the five signs of decay appear, one falls. Therefore, the heavens are not ultimate. Asuras also foster merit and virtue, but they do it with affliction. How can one foster merit and virtue with affliction, you ask? When doing it, they concentrate solely on competing with others. They say belligerently, I gave $5 to the temple. How much did you give? They pit themselves against everyone else. You gave 5, I give 10. Oh, you gave 10, I give 20. They fight to be number one, and in the future, they turn into asuras. They have merit and virtue all right, but they compete to get it. It's not done from their hearts. They also fight for fame. They want people to say, see, so-and-so is number one. He gave the most money. Fighting for top billing is a sure way to become an asura. In the practice of the Buddha Dharma, it is essential to have a true understanding of cause and effect. Then your efforts won't get all messed up. Some people even think, since I can't get famous here, I'll go somewhere else. Then everyone thinks, see, so-and-so, he went all the way to New York to do acts of great merit and virtue. That way everyone knows. These are the causes for becoming an asura. In the future, such people will become asuras. As soon as they start talking, they get angry. No matter what's going on, they have to be number one, to do acts of merit and virtue without cutting off affliction. Is merely to perform meritorious and virtuous acts which have outflows. It is not only outflow merit and virtue. You should do merit and virtue, but don't insist that everyone recognize you as number one or number two. There is, however, another kind of pupil who shuns fame. He sneaks around doing merit and virtue and then secretly tells someone, hey, I did $5,000 of merit and virtue over there, and no one knows I did it. I'm just telling you. Really, they too are asuras, and they are even worse than the ones mentioned above. Why? Because they are yin asuras, not yang. On the surface, it looks like they don't like fame, but in reality, they are behind the back self-advertising campaigns are even worse. So, if you bring forth the resolve to do merit and virtue, remember that if the causal ground is not genuine, the result will be distorted. When you are planting causes, if you do not plant proper ones, when the time comes to reap the fruit, it will be deformed bad. You'll become an asura. What is wrong with that, you ask? There's plenty wrong with it. All they do is fight. Does that appeal to you? As to the destiny of pupil, how does one become a human being? It is also through doing acts of merit and virtue, holding the five precepts and cultivating the 10 good deeds. They hold the five precepts and cultivate the 10 good deeds on the lower level, however. Asuras perform them at the middle level, gods at the higher level. There are innumerable distinctions, but we won't go into them now. These are the causes of birth in the three wholesome paths. What about the three evil paths? They come from greed, hate, and stupidity. Are you greedy? If you are too greedy, you'll turn into a hungry ghost. Why are hungry ghosts hungry? Because when they were alive, they were greedy for food. They always had to have a little bit more of whatever it was they were eating. If you like to eat a little more, then you can turn into a hungry ghost and have nothing at all to eat. Why were they greedy for food? Because they had already had awakening and enlightenment. What were they enlightened to? To the fact that in the future they aren't going to have anything to eat, that they are going to become hungry ghosts. I'm going to turn into a hungry ghost. I'd better hurry up and eat all I can now. They think they've got a bit of skill in predicting the future. So it is with greed. Hatred. Do you enjoy getting angry? Fine, keep it up, and you will end up in hell. In hell, you won't even be able to stand yourself. I just try out that mountain of knives, you say, and in a fit of rage, you throw yourself on it and get slashed to death, all because of anger. Let's just see how terrible those knives are. Or you may throw yourself into the pot of boiling oil. You guys wouldn't dare jump. Would you? Well, here goes, and you jump. You're so angry that you dare to try out the house, be they mountains of knives or pots of boiling oil. That's what happens when you give vent to hatred. I'm telling all of my disciples, if you have a bad temper, hurry up and change. If you don't have a bad temper, don't develop one. Don't let this pass through one ear and out the other. It is extremely important. Don't think it's not a big thing. The Dharma master is just talking. It's not for sure that if I have a bad temper, I'll fall into hell. If you try it out and end up in hell, it will then be too late. You will think, my teacher told me all along that this would happen. Now I know he was telling the truth, but then it's too late. Now, do you still dare to get angry? I have set up the law that if one person gets angry, all three have to kneel for 24 hours. I did this because I'm afraid that you'll all fall into hell. How can those who have left home get angry? There are now 3 Shramaneras, and if one gets angry, the other 2 have to kneel along with him for 24 hours. No ifs and no buts about it, no politeness at all. You have been warned in advance, and no clemency will be shown. The best way to deal with it is simply not to get angry. Then my method will be rendered totally useless. If you get angry, my law goes into effect. Kneeling for 24 hours isn't really all that severe. On top of that, however, you will not be allowed to eat, drink, or go to the bathroom. How about that for firmness? Really strict. I set up this law several days ago, and now when I ask each of Shramaneras, have you gotten angry? They will say no. I say, little Shramanera, how is it that you have managed not to get angry? Ah, they say between his teeth, I don't know. He doesn't know offhand why he hasn't gotten angry. Would you say this method was wonderful or not? Truly wonderful. Wonderful to the extreme. If you get angry, you may fall into hell. Because I'm afraid that you will fall into hell, I have established this severe law. Stupidity. Do you like being stupid? Do you neglect your study of the Buddha Dharma? If you don't like being stupid, then study the Buddha Dharma. Studying the Buddha Dharma augments your wisdom and helps you to develop wonderful prana. If you don't study the Buddha Dharma, you will remain stupid, and where will you go? Stupidity will take you off to the animal realm. Why are horses, cows, sheep, chickens, dogs, and pigs so unintelligent? Pigs, for example, are most unintelligent. When they've eaten, they feel they sleep, and when they have slept enough, they eat again. Other than those two activities, they don't have a third thing to do. Horses and cows do a little work, but they are also very stupid. Why are they stupid? Simply because they did not study the Buddha Dharma. Not only did they fail to study, but when other people took an interest in it, they said, "Hey, don't study that stuff. That's the dumbest thing you could do." They say others are dumb, but they are the dumbest. In the future, they turn into animals just because they didn't study the Buddha Dharma. You say, "I can't believe that. I've not studied it and will just to see if I turn into a pig or a horse." Sure, go ahead and try it out. Once you've tried it out, you can come back and study the Buddha Dharma. There's no need for force. As long as you want to be an animal, the opportunity is there. You can do it anywhere, anytime. The wheel of rebirth is serious indeed. Depending on what cause you plant, you reap the fruit accordingly. If you plant good causes, you reap good fruit. If you plant bad causes, you reap bad fruit. If you plant squash, you get squash. If you plant beans, you get beans. Let's see what causes you plant. If you plant the causes of becoming a Buddha, you will become a Buddha. If you plant the causes of hell, you will fall into hell. You pick your own path. The living beings in the 6 destinies are not just the few that I mentioned above. They are all the shapes and appearances, and they all appeared in the white hair mark light of Shakyamuni Buddha. The white hair mark light of Shakyamuni Buddha represents the final principle of the middle way, which does not veer off either side. It is also the perfect and certain Dharma door of the Dharma Flower Sutra. It is the principle of the middle way and the real mark. Its passage of taste begins the manifesting of the 6 portents in other worlds. The portent is that of seeing the beings in the 6 destinies. The first common white hair mark can be extended or contracted, far or near. It's like a cylindrical light bulb that illuminates everything. If you still cannot picture it, let me give a rough analogy. It's like a flashlight or the headlights on a car. Turn them on and they shine across a great distance. When the third common tries the white hair mark light, it tries not for just a mile or two, but into the eastern direction across 18,000 worlds. Does it only shine in the eastern direction, you ask? It's like a flashlight. You can point it wherever you wish. If you want to, you can shine it to the east, south, north, west, up or down, heaven or earth, wherever you like. In previous sutras, Shakyamuni Buddha didn't emit light from the white hair mark. In the Suragama Sutra, Shakyamuni Buddha emits light from the flesh coal, the invisible summit atop his head, as the text of that sutra tells us. At that time, the world-honored one, from the flesh coal atop his head, sent forth 100 jeweled lights. The light from the invisible summit is not the same as the light from the white hair mark. To say nothing of being able to listen to the Dharma Flower Sutra every day, as we do, to hear even a single word, a sentence, or an evening's lecture, is to plant the causes of Buddhahood. Even if you never come back again to listen, the Buddha within you will not run off and you are certain to become a Buddha. But that's in the future, not the present. How long will it take is not for sure. Those of you who now are hearing the sutra all have good roots. People with good should study the Buddha Dharma. Don't slide yourself as worthless, saying, What has the Buddha Dharma got to do with me? You should know that outside the Buddha Dharma, nothing else has anything to do with you. Only the Buddha Dharma has anything to do with you, and it relates to you in a very important way. It will lead you to become a Buddha. You say, I don't believe it. How could I become a Buddha? It's just your disbelief that will enable you to become a Buddha. Since you don't believe you can become a Buddha, in the future you will become one. That's just the wonderful Dharma. Despite your disbelief, much to your surprise, all of a sudden it will have happened. The wonderful Dharma Lotus Flower Sutra is just that wonderful. Sutra further were seen all the present Buddhas in those lands. Commentary: the second of the six portents is that of seeing the Buddhas. Within the white hair mark light emitted by Shakyamuni Buddha appeared the Buddha lands, and within the Buddha lands there were Buddhas teaching and transforming living beings. This passage of text is the portent of seeing the Buddhas. The white hair mark light represents the middle way. Why did the Buddha emit light? And why did he choose to emit light from the white hair mark? The Buddha emitted light in order to illumine those whose potentials had ripened. The living beings who should be touched, the living beings who should be taken across, those ready to be touched are called those with potential. They have the opportunity to be taught. The teaching is dispensed in response to the potentials of living beings. Depending upon an individual's potential, a certain teaching is given. Thus, the emitting of light represents the dispensing of the teaching in response to potentials. There's another way to explain the white hair mark. It represents the severing of delusions and casting out of doubts. The light which was emitted got rid of all the doubts of living beings. It broke through their deluded thoughts. That is why the light was emitted. As to the white hair mark, Amitabha Buddha also has a white hair mark, and so do other Buddhas. The verse in praise of Amitabha Buddha says, Amitabha's body is the color of gold. The splendor of his hallmarks has no peer. His white hair mark light winds round 5 Matsumerus, white as the seas, as his azure eyes, pure and clear, shining in his brilliance by transformation, countless bodhisattvas and infinite Buddhas. His 48 vows will be our liberation. In 9 lotus stages, we reach in further shore. The brilliance of Amitabha Buddha's 32 marks and 80 minor characteristics is incomparable. The hair mark located between his eyebrows winds around and around like a dragon, not a straight course, but winding and calling. How big is it? As big as 5 Mount Sumerus. His azure eyes are deep and clear, and as large as the 4 great seas. Would you say those are big eyes? Within his light are many, many Buddhas, and the Buddhas are also beyond all count. He has made 48 vows to save living beings. Every vow contains the wish that living beings might realize Buddhahood. There are 9 grades of lotuses: superior, 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 middle, superior, inferior, middle, superior, middle, 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 inferior, inferior, superior, inferior, middle, inferior, inferior. All living beings are led to the other shore, to Nirvana, to realize Buddhahood. Shakyamuni Buddha's white hair mark is also as big as 5 Mount Sumerus. According to the Sutra of the Samadhi of contemplating the Sea of Buddha, when the Buddha came into the world, his white hair mark measured 5 feet. When he cultivated ascetic practices, it was 14 feet. When he realized Buddhahood, it was 15 feet. The white hair marker is empty in the center like a glass tube. It represents the 4 virtues of Nirvana. 1. Permanence. 2. Joy. 3. True self. 4. Purity. The emptiness in the center represents the middle way and permanence. Its softness represents joy. Its whiteness, purity. The ability to extend or contract it will represent true self. Thus represented all the 4 virtues of Nirvana. The white hair mark represents the middle way. The real marks a precious seal. Within the light from the white hair mark could be seen all the Buddhas in other lands. Also could be seen from the time of the Buddha's birth up to his Nirvana. All the bitter practices he cultivated in all their various aspects, and then, following his Nirvana, all his merit and virtue. Sutra and all the sutras and Dharma spoken by the Buddhas was heard. Commentary. This is a third, the portent of hearing the Dharma. The 6 portents in are the ones fall into 3 pairs. The first 2 portents, that of seeing the 6 destinies and seeing the Buddhas, make up the pair of the common and sagely. Those in the 6 destinies are common people, and the Buddhas are sages. Sutra. Also seen were the bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, upasikas in those lands who cultivated and attained the way. Commentary. What were the Buddhas in their respective Buddha lands doing? They were speaking the Dharma, lecturing on the sutras, and expounding the teaching. What is the use of speaking Buddha Dharma? It was so that the bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, and upasikas, the 4-fold assembly of disciples, could cultivate in accord with the Dharma and certify to the fruit, perhaps to the fruit of arhatship, or perhaps become bodhisattvas or Buddhas. Within the Buddha's white hair mark could be seen the Buddhas speaking the Dharma and the 4 assemblies who cultivated and attained the fruit. These 2 portents represent the pair of pupil and Dharma, pupil being the 4-fold assembly, and the Dharma being the way which they certified to.